When you start reading and studying from your textbook, it's important to plan your study methods in a way that will increase your efficiency in remembering and learning the material in the book. Students for over 40 years have been using the method SQ4R that include these steps. SQ4R stands for Survey, Question, Read, Record, Recite, and Review. These steps will help you monitor what you know and what you still need to review from each chapter or module in your book.
The first step you'll take when following SQ4R is Survey. In this step, you'll survey the text you are about to read.
Instead of being intimidated by the size of the chapter, scan the text and learn as much about the maps of the chapter, the main beliefs, author's attitudes, purpose, and structure. A great mnemonic you can use to remember everything you need to survey is Tisch, West Virginia. Titles, introductions, summaries, headings, words, and visuals.
The next step you'll take when following SQ4R is Question. This step and the following 3 steps will be repeated for each new heading and subheading you run into. You'll run into headings and subheadings in your textbook that specify that the following section of the text will be focusing on a certain topic. With the question step, you'll be asking yourself questions for each of the sections of text. You can use one of 2 different methods for this step: maps, or turning the headings and subheadings themselves into questions.
For the maps technique, ask yourself the following questions while reading through that section of the text. What are the author's main beliefs? What are the author's attitude, tone, and biases? What is the purpose the author is writing this, and what does the author want me to walk away knowing? And what are the organizational structures in place to help me make connections between the main topics? For the headings into questions method, you will be making your own questions based on the headings or subheadings of the section you're about to read. Using journalistic type questions like who, what, where, when, why, or how are all great ways to start this process. So for example, if you are about to read a section entitled The Civil War, you might ask yourself, who fought in the Civil War? When was the Civil War fought? Or why was the Civil War fought? The next step is self-explanatory. Read. You're going to be reading the section of text under each of the subheadings or headings. This is the second of 4 steps that you will do for each section that you will be reading. While you're reading, remember to think of answers to the questions that you either made up or the maps questions. You may find that you need to revise your questions as you learn more about the topic, and that's perfectly fine. Revising the questions means that you're thinking and making sense of the material.
The 4th step of SQ4R, and the 3rd you need to complete for each section of the text, is Record. You will be recording important information from the text. The goal of this step is to basically create a study guide for yourself.
During this step, you write down the answers to the questions from the read step. You may have already written down the questions before you even read. If you did this, you have half of the step done already. Now all you have to do is write down your answers. Recite is the 5th step of SQ4R, and the final of 4 that you need to repeat for each section of the text. In this step, you will repeat the questions out loud to yourself that you posed for each section and answer them in your own words. Answering the questions in your own words helps you to learn the material in a repetitive way without memorizing your answers word for word.
The final step in SQ4R is Review. After you've completed the 4 steps, question, read, record, and recite, for each section, you're ready to review the material.
The review step eliminates the need for cramming before a test. This step asks you to regularly review the notes you made in the previous steps. You can do this one of 3 ways: by using the study guide you've created, by resurveying the chapter, or by using maps for the entire module or section you covered. Later on in your book and in videos, we'll talk about note-taking methods that are compatible with SQ4R. I look forward to seeing you again.